Hey everyone, this is Uthris. Welcome back to Let's Build Lothloria, episode 55. Last episode we pretty much finished up the mages area. This episode we're going to be working on the beginnings of a small town here. Village, town, same difference pretty much. We're going to be starting off with probably the headsman of the village, or village head, I guess. His house is going to be this kind of weird looking shape that looks kind of like, I don't know, pitchfork, I guess. There's going to be a couple little houses throughout, leading this way through the woods, and then also a windmill. I don't know if I want to build a different windmill or not, but this is just something I just copied over from the previous ones, so I can at least have something here in the meantime. I might build a wooden windmill, something a little less fancy and less official, and something a little bit more utilitarian looking. So I'll probably end up doing that instead of keeping that stone tower there. We'll probably just make it out of wood. But for now, we're just going to get started on this area down here and try and figure out how we want this to work. So there's going to be a little bit of a meeting hall. That's the point of the long kind of structure. And then 2 side rooms with upstairs as well. So let's see. Let's go ahead and lay out our doors and windows as usual. Since it is an even structure, we're going to be needing these center versions. So I'm thinking the center is actually going to be stone. The rest of it will be just wooden. And that might be a little bit interesting, having a stone being merged into 2 wooden structures. It might create some type of visual interest. I don't know though. You guys can let me know in the comments if you like this design or not. Also, I mean, this is part of the kingdom of Lothloria, but it's not Lothloria because that's the actual city and farmland around that. And there's been some clamoring about wanting to name some of the towns, and I think that's a wonderful idea. So if you guys have any idea on what this area should be called, leave me a comment and I'll choose the one I like the most. And from there we can hopefully come up with a cool name to call this forested area. So we're getting double windows for the side rooms there. And then also, I think I'm going to bring the stone all the way down, thinking about it. So at least when you walk in, I mean, you have some stone, and then just switch it to wood. Each side's going to have some type of staircase. In fact, I might even put a little bit of a dividing wall here, so we have room to actually do a staircase connecting these 2 upper floors here. I don't know how though. Maybe there'll just be a staircase on each wing, and then this is just a center room. Maybe he lives at, stays in. This is kind of like maybe the main room. This is just kind of the grand meeting room, I guess. You can even throw in a table. Wish I could center these a little bit better. So let's see if I can get this to kind of merge together just a little bit into an interesting shape. Like that. I think that's pretty cool looking. We haven't had a table like that yet. And then over here, I need to finish these walls before I forget and totally mess up the placement. I've also been asked why I don't use the Alt key to delete just segments of stuff that I'm looking at, like you can 99% of the time. The save is just really old. It's a really old save, and through some patching or some other issues, I don't know what, I either get like really quick flashing like this. This is not normal at all. Usually the game does not look like this. If I start a new save, this isn't here. This is only here for this save, and I think it's just it's old. It has a lot of patches that's been going through it. It also has a lot of structures. That could be a factor. The factor that it's not really a fully optimized game yet. And I'm not blaming them. This is, it's alpha. It's just something we have to deal with as testers. And I think it's just part of the game. Let's see. And early access. You're just gonna run into weird things that you can't explain. And I'm sure it'll be straightened out. Within a month. I think a month is a reasonable time. And if it's not, it's whatever. I don't care. The game's playable. That's really what I care about. Sure, it might be a little bit of a pain for me to get something done because of a hotkey that's not working on an old save. But that doesn't concern me a whole lot. So we kind of have a nice deck for this area. We also need our staircases, which as always we're going to use these as kind of a base frame for that because it looks damn nice. Still kind of waiting on those curved wooden railings. I think those are pretty necessary, but they might just not have any art assets for that. So I can put a staircase here somewhere. Either I can do this nice straight on staircase like this, but I don't think there's really enough room to do so. And so our default option is usually in effect at this point to use a corner stone staircase. And it might be nice to actually only have one access point and just have it carry across. So I think we'll just do that. If I can get these doors lined up. Offset the window away from the door. That way the space has room to put items and things like that. And you can actually use the window still. We'll offset these as well. This is really just, giving us a lot of viewing options. I think I'll just go ahead and carry that line up, I guess. It's a little different than this side, but whatever. It's not always have to be perfect. I'll do an opposite angle there. And here as well. Just like that. Let's see. I could throw in a double window here. That might be cool. Or it might not. I could do another stone. I could make the center, continue with the stone theme. In which case, I don't know if I want 2 windows. I mean, when you start doing things like this, it almost looks like a face, which can look bad, but whatever. And this side too is going to have another floor. It's going to do it a little bit differently than we normally do. Usually we have kind of a ceiling being supported by rafters, but I don't do this very often and just put a straight up vaulted ceiling. I think that's pretty rare for me. And then I can also, let's see what it looks like with the center. See, that looks a little janky. It might look janky doing that. I almost wish there was a smaller window version. I think that would be cool to have, but we don't really have anything like that. Go ahead and put our floor in for the most part. Gonna have a space so people can get up and down here. So this is kind of a loft area. In fact, I can even put a door here, make a separate room. Just for detail purposes. Be nice. Just have a railing here, acting like a little balcony. This, I can either A, leave it open like this and put a railing and have another balcony, or I can put these here and have a balcony, or maybe I want to try and make some interesting shapes. I don't want everything to be the same all the time. I think I'll just do a single window up here. That way you can see down into the small area. I think that's a cool effect. Check structural integrity. Those blocks are kind of heavy. I do worry about the weight. But it looks like it's going to hold up just fine. And then we just need to finish up these walls here. Make sure all the patterns are offset from each other. Throw in our last windows. Give it a nice floor. This way, initially, it'll look a little low to the ground. An open space with vaulted ceiling. I'm gonna have to play with the chairs at another time to try and get them to fit, so you have enough, space to move around the table. It might not work very well. Definitely not a small building. I mean, it's a fairly large home, and that's what we want. So how do I want to do the roof on this one? It might be cool. I don't do this too often at all. To do a slanted kind of style. And then a normal peaked. Everywhere else. But this slant is a little... It's too tall. I almost wish there needs to be a 30-degree angled roof. Like, really bad. I feel like roofing is a very limiting thing right now. The sooner they can get more roofing in, the better. So in fact, what I'm gonna do is maybe this. So I wouldn't mind putting a balcony here. I think that'd be pretty cool to have. I don't have many structures with that on that. And maybe you can only get to it from this side. Like so. And then we'll use our windmill blades to finish off kind of the porch covering here soon. How does this need to work? I can guess just do this kind of style roof for now. And hope for the best. That just needs to be a straight piece. Let's see. It's gonna be one of those roofs that just kind of sap up a lot of time. And that part's gonna be really tall and ugly looking if I do this that way. Or we can have a flat roof style. That could look okay. I may have to go with that just to keep our height down, because it just doesn't look too good, I don't think, otherwise. So, it's a government building. We're going to be using the red roof for that, as per the usual. Make that fit in a little bit better. We'll do that kind of style structure, I think. And throw in these kind of fake supports. They don't really mean anything. They just kind of block the view everywhere else. And we can just drag this out. I may get yelled at because, I mean, we have that peaked roof like that, And in here, we just have that simple vaulted ceiling. You know, it's not reflective of what the roof actually is, but I think it's okay. There's no real way to get a loft in there yet. The character's a little too big. There's no ladders. So I'm just not going to worry about it. You know what? I think I'm going to use the wooden roofs for this side. Because I wouldn't mind a bit of a color contrast. It could look terrible, but I suppose we'll just have to find that one out. I seem to have missed a spot. Let's see here, like so and so. And then we'll just have to throw the, you can call these widow's walks. I think that's the proper term for these type of things. Widow's Peak. I have no idea what I'm even talking about. But from down here, it looks pretty interesting, for sure. I'm gonna get a couple normal views from it as well. Let's see. What I'm going to do is put railing, I think. Just some more detail. That way we don't have this really plain looking thing. Could almost act like little guard towers to overwatch what's going on in the town. And if you don't believe me, then I don't know. I don't got any threat. It's the internet. You guys can say whatever the hell you want. Let's see, and flip that over. And drag out our awesome awning. Put our balcony there. Make an additional awning. Sure everything kind of looks all right. I may have to switch this to a square porch after all. I like my curves, I really do, but without the proper railing, it just doesn't look right. I need one of these. Got a nice porch. Some interesting details, I think. Definitely a more interesting building shape than normal. Don't know how I like this weird, such a plain face here. I might have to go back and add some sort of detail. I mean, I can probably add fake supports like this to break it up. In fact, I think I'll go ahead and do that. I think that looks fairly nice. Like so. Okay, so we're at 24 minutes. That took a lot longer than I expected. I thought I was just gonna do something pretty quick, like one of these small homes, but I guess I rambled on and built a little slower than normal. So I think we'll just look around on the inside a little bit. I like this little side room up here. Fairly good view all around in terms of windows and things. The two front windows here work really well. Doesn't look weird because that balcony is kind of covering up and creating a nice break in terms of level. Pretty nice to see a windmill over there. Might change that. That's not set in stone yet. You guys can tell me what you think the new windmill looks like. You can even send me a link. And this episode has run on way too long. So thanks again for watching. If you guys are enjoying the video, feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment on what you would like to see built next. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.